Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, in today's video we're talking all about combos in the King of Fighters 15. Everyone loves combos in fighting games, they're a big deal, right? And King of Fighters has a lot of little peculiars about it, and I want to kind of go in depth about everything. So there'll be timestamps here, skip to whatever makes sense to you, because we'll be talking the basics of combos and also some more advanced concepts. So now let's talk the basics of what makes a combo in the King of Fighters. Generally speaking, 90% of the time it's going to be one of two things. Either you're going to be fishing with lights, so a lot of characters are going to start with like crouch light kick and then crouch light punch. And just like a basic little thing like, okay, do I have the hits or not? If I get blocked, I hold off, I don't do anything. And if I happen to get the hit, oh, I got my hit, cool, I'll go for an attack. It could be a regular attack, could be an EX, whatever, right? So just basic hit confirms. The other thing is close normals, proximity normals. In King of Fighters, and a lot of fighting games, but not so much these days anymore. This is more of an old school thing. But if you're close to a character, your moves change. So that's close heavy punch for Terry. Far heavy punch for Terry is a big old punch to the face. If I'm close, heavy punch changes to this instead. So we use that, and then we go into a command normal. So for Terry, we'll use forward light punch, this big back fist. Now, in and of itself, this back fist is just meant to be a big poke if you use it by itself. A lot of command normals have a purpose, like done raw. Either they could be an overhead or a big poke or whatever, and that's all they're meant to be, nothing else. So you can see my inputs are turned on now, right? So when done by itself, I try to cancel into a basic fireball. No can do. But when done in the middle of a combo, now it does become okay to special cancel. And that's the backbone of a lot of combo structure. Just close heavy, could be punch, could be kick, doesn't really matter. Close heavy, command normal, and if you see it connect, then do a special move. Same deal, different character, Leona here. Her forward light kick is a big old overhead. So as you can see, if I'm crouch blocking and get smacked, I have to stand block this guy. But when done in a combo, as you can see here, it loses its overhead property. So now I can just crouch block the entire time. But while it loses its overhead property, it now gains the property of being able to be special canceled. So by itself, I could not cancel into that special move. But when done in a combo, I now can combo into that special move. So effectively, all command normals serve two purposes. Whatever the move is raw, once again, could be a poke, could be an overhead, could be whatever, and what it brings to you while done in a combo, which is, one, another hit, so that's nice. And generally, extending the combo means you just have more time to see if you should combo, or if you see, oh, it got blocked, let's hold back now. And long story short, that's about it. Like maybe add a jump in front of stuff, be it close normal or just, low hit confirms or whatever, but that's generally how you're going to start 90% of your combos. Like obviously it's hardly the only way to combo. There's a lot of oddball situations in this game where you'll get combos off weird hits, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, for the basics, that's it. Now let's talk damage scaling. Like many fighting games, the more hits you do in a combo, the less each successive hit does. In King of Fighters, it's actually a little bit more generous than most, as each successive hit only does 5% less damage. So say, like our crouch light kick example here, so normally it does 30 damage, second hit is 28, third hit is 27, so on and so forth. Every successive hit is only 5%. So you are very much incentivized to do longer combos if you can help it, because the damage scaling is very generous and not as harsh as it is in some other games. It also means getting a lot of hits early on just to help hit confirm, see if you got the hit or not, is not discouraged like it is in some other games. Some other games, they don't like you doing that. They want to go for the big hits right away. KoF, no, you can play it a little bit safe. Since damage scaling is also very generous, it also means supers keep a lot of their bite at the end of a combo. So Terry's Power Geyser Raw did 200. And now at the end of a decent sized combo does 150, right? So it keeps a lot of his damage because each successive hit is only 5%, 5%, 5%. Also a note here, multi-hitting moves do not count against your damage scaling. In almost every other fighting game they do, in this game they do not. So in that combo I use close heavy punch. Here I'll just use close heavy kick. So double hitter versus a single hit. And the Power Geyser at the end still does 150, even though there was technically less hits in the combo. So a lot of games kind of discourage multi-hitting moves because of that, and King of Fighters, don't worry. If your move is multi-hitting, go crazy. It's there to your benefit, makes moves easier to hit confirm in combos. Go nuts. Now, not all the rules of damage scaling are exactly the same. Shatter Strike, the mechanic, actually is a good example. Shatter Strike, when done raw, whenever you hit the enemy, they'll always fall out. They'll come out of the mechanic, but the move will be completely unscaled. So here, close knee here, close heavy kick, does 80 damage, does 80 damage normally. So whatever the follow-up you do to that, it'll be the full damage no matter what, just the combo ends right then and there. But when Shatter Strike's done in a combo, they no longer fall out. You can actually combo fully after the fact, but that changes the damage scaling quite a bit. So we'll keep using Power Geyser as our example here. So there was only 3 hits total in the combo, so that's basically 10%. That's it, right? So it does 180. However, now after a Shatter Strike, does 130, as you can see here. So when you use a combo with Shatter Strike, yes, you get a lot more combo potential because you can basically just restart the combo effectively, right? Because they're crumpled and you can just re-go. But it does heavily advance the scaling of the combo. So there's a lot of times you can do combos with Shatter Strike and you'll get more hits in, but you might do less overall damage. Just really keep that in mind. Some other quick things that can affect damage scaling is if, say, you start your combo with your raw power attack, your CD, that's heavy punch and heavy kick together. So normally, say a power wave, second hit of the combo would do 57 damage, but if done after a CD, it'll do 51 damage. So not quite as harsh as like a Shatter Strike, but just keep in mind starting a combo with a CD will also advance the scaling a little bit. Now let's talk the basics of special and super canceling because it's not always universal. Like a lot of times you can do, close heavy, command normal, and then cancel into a special move. Sure. Also in this game, by the way, you can very often combo into command grabs. That is not normal in most fighting games, but in King of Fighters, you absolutely can. So doing your hits going to special move, that's the easy part. But the thing is, not all special moves are super cancelable. Like in our Shermie example here, if I go for this move, that's it. I cannot get anything else. Like, I cannot get any super, no level 1, no level 2, no level 3, no nothing. I just get that move, that's it. That's all. Doesn't matter what I do, I'm not getting it. Like for Iori, very combo for him to go into the Rekka series, right? Same deal here. If you finish it up, like you're not getting anything. Like it just doesn't work that way. But for him, if you do the first 2 hits, then you can special cancel. So a lot of the casts can very easily just do normal, close heavy normal, special move, super move. Most of the casts, that's never an issue. But keep in mind, some characters, they have a little bit of difficulty. Like Shermie, she can indeed cancel moves into super. It's not like she can't do it at all, right? It's just not every move can do it. So off the anti-air grab, you can go into a super. But say I'm looking for a basic hit confirm combo and I want to start burning bar after the fact. That means I shouldn't go for the command grab because I just can't super after the command grab. I should go for something like the Shermie whip, which I can burn super after the fact. So then, all of a sudden, this is where I'll get my super damage from. So just keep in mind, character to character things, they can be a little different. So just to show a couple examples of the rules here. Clark, he has his command grab, and he is absolutely allowed to do a super move after his command grab. It's what makes a lot of his command grabs so scary. But King of Dinosaurs cannot. Like, he doesn't get anything. He just gets the grab, that's it, that's all, right? So there's a lot of situations that you're going to have to test out character to character, move to move, because sometimes they don't want you to do a super after a move. They figure the move is good enough. Also, general special canceling rules. A lot of times you'll find different characters have different moves they're allowed to special cancel. Like Ryo, his stand Fierce Punch. It's a big old wallop, right? And Ryo is allowed to special cancel that move. So if he's just trying to poke you in neutral, he can pretty confidently, for the most part, always go into Fireball. And most of the time will combo outside like the exact max range. But either way, it's still good pressure, right? So he can do it. Now Maxima, on the other hand, cannot special cancel his Far Punch. Like, visually, they're very similar looking, right? But nothing he can do will give him any kind of special move. That's just some of the character specifics. Like Maxima, maybe he can't special cancel, but his big old punch has armor on it, right? So everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. Also, a note about super moves and combos is you cannot cancel a super move from an EX move. So in this example here, Ryo does a stand punch, he does the fireball, and then I do a super after the fact. That's great. But off an EX move, you are not allowed to cancel into super any reason. This is universal across the cast. If you do an EX, you can't get a super after the fact. EX moves are obviously a lot better than regular moves across the board, right? And that's just one of the balancing concerns. So if you do an EX, you cannot do a super immediately after. Now that said, there's definitely a lot of ways to trick it. So I can do an EX fireball, wait for the move to juggle, and then, well, now I'm not doing the move, right? So now I can do my super, right? So a lot of situations, sometimes the EX moves just cause juggle effects anyways, and you can just super after the fact. And sometimes you wait for the move to be over and you can do stuff. But yeah, just want to hammer that home just so people aren't confused early on in the game's life. You can do a special, then super, but you can't do an EX, then super. In a lot of combos, there's also what we call the OTG property. That means off the ground. The enemy is on the ground, they're just stuck there, and then you can have certain moves follow up. King of Dinosaurs, I feel, is a particularly good example of this. So say we do EX Claws here, right? The wall bounces in the corner. Unfortunately, we switch sides. But it's a true hard knockdown. Like right now we have the enemy set the tech on knockdown, right? So you can see he just kind of rolls right as soon as he hits the ground. But this, Cronin, he's not rolling because it's a true hard knockdown. Now King of Dinosaurs has the big bite. Now it can hit you standing, like just you don't really use it for that, but it can hit you standing. But the thing is, it can also hit grounded people. And now we bite them and we fling them back into the corner so we're not stuck. Cronin is another character. Cronin's a pretty oddball character with his close, heavy kick. This is an overhead. You actually have to block the standing. And his special properties don't end there. So say he knocks you down, right? And you can tech roll, but say you don't. You were too slow or you don't know or just whatever reason didn't happen. Against Cronin, if you don't tech roll right away, he can use that close heavy kick and it'll stomp you. So this is another move. If you're on the ground and not moving, Cronin can just stomp you. This is a unique move for him and unique property him, right? It's different character to character, but a lot of characters can do stuff like this. So King of Dinosaurs, another example, his level 1 super, Dinner of Dinosaurs. It also leaves you in a hard knockdown state. So no rolling, no nothing, which means we can get that bite we talked about earlier. And then we can just fling him around for a little bit extra damage. Now, bonus for King of Dinosaurs, he has a new level 3 in this game, right? And it turns out that level 3 is also an off-the-ground effect. So if they're grounded, you can get that level 3 anytime they're grounded and just get some big damage in. So play around with it character to character. Not everyone can do this. This is definitely specific, right? But play around with it because it's a pretty interesting concept. Another important, although admittedly rare concept is the anywhere juggle. So there's a lot of situations in this game where like, you know, you start juggling the enemy and you can do cool stuff, all that, right? But the thing is, you know, at some point, unfortunately, the combo has to end. I could go for a special move, nothing's gonna happen. I could go for a super move and still, really, nothing's gonna happen. Just, they fall out, combo's over, right? Except anywhere juggle, no longer the case. So in this example here, this EX kicks, it juggles. And yeah, I can, you know, do a follow-up after the fact. And if I want to do that follow-up, I can also cancel that special into a super. And there you go, right? But what if I want to keep the party going? So then Ryo has this move here, his machine gun punches. And specifically the EX version of the machine gun punches. So now, even though they're normally supposed to fall out at that point, it captures you. So the anywhere juggle property just basically means I don't care what happened before. It could be a 1,000 hit combo and used every option. I don't care what came before. The combo will continue at this point, which basically means you can extend your combo structure because the combo is now, you know, no longer over. You get more hits in. So moves like this are worth their weight in gold. Robert's another character, same like Ryo's machine gun punches. He has machine gun kicks, right? And he has this property as well, and it's actually newly given to him in King of Fighters 15 because he did not have it in 14. Like say, jump CD in the corner. This is your power attack, your jumping power attack, and it always knocks down no matter what. And on counter hit, you can follow up. That's one of the things about counter hit jump CDs, you get a juggle potential. However, on regular hit, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't, like, it could be special supers, anything. There's no possible follow-up. However, since we know this move has Juggle Anywhere property, we don't have to follow the rules of the game anymore. Gotcha. Simple as that, right? Now, before there was no combo potential, it was just the hit, nothing else. And now we can get some big time stuff. And now we got this big time combo that never otherwise would have been possible, right? So it's thanks to that Juggle Anywhere property it gave us all of that. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a master list for you. They changed a lot in King of Fighters 15s very early on in the game's life, so I don't know all the EX Juggle Anywhere property moves, but just test it out. Simple as that. If your combo drops, try adding a new move in there, and maybe it has Juggle Anywhere property. So basically, this is stuff to keep in mind before you get to your fancier combos, right? So before you go learning your big flashy and practical combos and all that kind of stuff, you know, the basics are the best, so make sure you know the basics. There's also very important stuff like the button hold trick, but I gave that its own video. You can find that in the playlist at the end, linked. So if you're looking for more King of Fighters knowledge, tech, guides, all that kind of stuff, check that video linked at the end of this video. Otherwise, well, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some King of Fighters.
Love